Today, we will talk about 15 biggest vulnerabilities other people exploit. Today, we will talk about 15 biggest vulnerabilities other people exploit. Any website or online application, whether it's an internet bank processing millions of dollars in transactions daily or a storefront for small neighborhood businesses, can fall victim to malicious attacks and internet security issues. Hackers often choose their targets by vulnerability, not by size or notoriety. Smaller systems, which may not even contain sensitive data, can be more tempting targets simply because they are easier to hack. 1. Ransomware attack. The goal of a ransomware attack is to gain exclusive control of critical data. The hacker encrypts and holds your data hostage, and then demands a ransom payment in exchange for the decryption key you need to access the files. The attacker may even download and threaten to release sensitive data publicly if you do not pay by a deadline. Ransomware is the type of attack you're most likely to see reported in major news media. 2. Code injection, remote code execution. To attempt a code injection, an attacker will search for places your application accepts user input, such as a contact form, data entry field, or search box. Then, through experimentation, the hacker learns what various requests and field content will do. For example, if your site's search function places terms into a database query, they will attempt to inject other database commands into search terms. Alternatively, if your code pulls functions from other locations or files, they will attempt to manipulate those locations and inject malicious functions. 3. Cross-site scripting. XSS attack. JavaScript and other browser-side scripting methods are commonly used to dynamically update page content with external information such as a social media feed, current market information, or revenue-generating advertisements. Hackers use XSS to attack your customers by using your site as a vehicle to distribute malware or unsolicited advertisements. As a result, your company's reputation can be tarnished and you can lose customer trust. 4. Data breach. A data breach occurs whenever an unauthorized user gains access to your private data. They may not have a copy of the data or control it, but they can view it and possibly make changes. You may not even know there's a breach immediately. For example, the attacker may have an administrative account password, but hasn't used it to make any changes yet. How to prevent? This internet security issue can be challenging to address because an attacker at this stage is generally taking careful steps to remain hidden. Many systems will print connection information from your previous session when you log in. Be aware of this information where available, and be mindful of activity that isn't familiar. 5. Malware and virus infection. Malware is short for malicious software. Malware on a workstation can encrypt data for ransomware purposes or even log keystrokes to capture passwords. Hackers typically use malware to expand existing access to your site or spread access to others on the same network. 6. DDoS attack. Distributed denial of service. DDoS attacks are generally not attempting to gain access. However, they are sometimes used in conjunction with brute force attacks, explained below, and other attack types as a way to make log data less useful during your investigation. For example, the hacker may directly attack your application layer by overwhelming your site with more requests than it can handle. They may not even view an entire page, just a single image or script URL with a flood of concurrent requests, beyond the traffic flood making your site unreachable, which any volumetric attack will do. A Layer 7 attack can inflict further damage by flooding order queues or polling data with bogus transactions that require extensive and costly manual verification to sort out. 7. Credential stuffing attack. Credential stuffing is a common term we now give to hackers abusing the reuse of passwords across multiple accounts. If a hacker gains access to one of your account passwords, you can be assured they will attempt to log into dozens of other common services with the same username and password they just captured. 8. Brute force attack. In a brute force attack, the hacker, usually with the help of automation, tries multiple password guesses in various combinations until one is successful. In simpler terms, think of it as opening a combination padlock by trying every possible combination of numbers in order. 9. Weak passwords and authentication issues. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and a computer system is only as secure as its weakest password. Therefore, for any level of access, all passwords should be of sufficient length and complexity. A strong password should include 18 characters minimum, and the longer, the better. Password length increases security more than complexity. 10. Social engineering. Social engineering encompasses all of the non-technical ways an attacker may use to gain access or do damage to your systems or data. The most common method is the oldest: lying or using fabricated information to gain trust. A malicious actor may impersonate your bank, a utility provider, or even law enforcement. They may claim to be a customer or pose as an executive from your organization. The goal of such attacks is generally to either obtain sensitive information or trick an insider into unknowingly performing destructive actions. 11. SPM and phishing. SPM, or unsolicited email messages, often in high volume, are not a new security problem. SPM has been a headache for decades at this point, and many of us still receive these emails in our inboxes, which we must delete. A threat that many overlook is email account compromise, which then allows a spammer to send their own messages from your mailbox. Not only does your domain's email reputation suffer, leading to blacklisting, you also receive potentially thousands of email bounce backs and error messages generated by the spam. 12. Insider threat. Betrayal from the inside can harm your company on multiple levels. A trusted employee or contractor can damage your systems, steal confidential information, and even sabotage team unity. The attacker doesn't even need to be an employee. They could be anyone you trust, like a customer or a delivery driver. Much as with social engineering, you simply cannot rely on your ability to judge character to keep yourself safe. 13. Sensitive data leak. Data leaks, like ransomware, tend to make news when they occur. Data leaks can include customer data or confidential intellectual property like source code. Anything that's a secret is a target for hackers. This data is most often well secured, and compromise usually occurs through other methods such as insider threats or social engineering. 14. No backups. As we covered earlier, we add layers of security, assuming that previous layers will someday fail. Therefore, it's important to have a recovery plan in place in the event of a total loss, whether from catastrophic system failure or malicious exploit of one of the web security problems discussed here. The best recovery plans always begin with thorough, regular backups and adequate backup retention policies. 15. Not updating or patching regularly. While unpatched systems are perhaps the easiest security issue to avoid, they are also one of the most commonly exploited. Nearly every software update contains at least a few security patches for known vulnerabilities. As hackers discover exploit methods, they share this information within their community. Many freely available automated hacking tools contain vast databases of these known vulnerabilities. Yet many CMS installations are rarely, or never, updated after they're initially deployed. Development sites are just as important to update as live production sites. Remember, the attacker doesn't care whether you're actively doing business through a given CMS installation or not. They only care whether it's vulnerable. Abandoned test projects and old demos are prime targets for hackers. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.